All right, we're live. Welcome back, Matt.
Welcome.
Back to InfoSec to Insanity.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. Good to see you.
This is the podcast where we torch quick fixes, rip into lazy excuses, and fight like hell to fix the broken industry. Did you know that? I just burped. What'd you have for dinner?
I made some, risotto. There you go.
You made risotto? Are you like a chef guy?
No, it came in the mail. I followed the instructions.
Came in the mail. Hey, dude, check this out.
Chef.
When you, I think in the next week, I'm going to shave my beard.
Oh, nice. For like the second time in your life. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a beard when I was a kid, baby.
Okay.
Greetings, Mr. Riker Murdoch.
Riker, good to see you, sir.
All right, let's get to the show. So,
long-time fan. Why are you going to shave your beard? What's sparking this?
I'm interested to see if I've lost chins.
Oh, right, because you're losing all that weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had like 3 chins, and I wonder if I have like less than that now.
I have 2 chins.
Yeah. Show me your chins. I need to get a haircut anyway.
Yeah.
So you're going to be here. You're going to be here in a week and a day.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And then when you land here, I'm going to pick you up at the airport, and then we're going
road trip.
Yeah, we're going to road trip. We're going to road trip to Guadalajara, and then I'm going to buy a Harley.
I like it.
I don't think they'll let me take it right then and there. If they do, then you can drive my truck back, and I'll drive the Harley back.
That sounds like a very dangerous journey.
Dangerous. Come on, man. What the fuck? No danger involved. All right. So people listening, to the podcast when we release this thing, I'm Evan Francen, 30. I thought about that this morning, actually, because I'm working on the book. And a lot of people are giving me shit that it's not done yet. And so they said, it was like the about author piece. And they're like, how many years is it really? And I was like, shit. 35.
Nice.
1990.
I say I've been doing this for 23 years because what I did in the Marine Corps was asset management. So I think.
So between the two of us, we have, was that 58 years? Is that right?
Is what right?
58 years. If we add up our years.
Oh, yes.
That's a lot of years. All right. 30 plus years, scars, lessons. I have lots of scars. I'll share those sometime. Like road rash from crashing.
That's a 4-hour drive to Guadalajara, by the way.
Yeah. Do you have a problem with that? We're good still?
Okay.
No, are we good with that still?
I was just checking. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Scars, lessons, and what the fuck are we thinking moments? What the fuck were we thinking moments? There's a lot of what the fuck are we thinking moments. I should share more stories. You should share more stories of the what the fuck were you thinking moments. We should make a segment. What the fuck were you thinking segment?
I was thinking of a new segment that we can do.
You say
the week
new or
after
nude?
Nude. After I come down, we can do InfoSec to Insanity, like on the road or live or something.
Live on the road?
Like when we're driving to get your motorcycle.
You want to do an episode while we're driving?
We can just like cut some film and chop it up and then put it out there. It won't be like this format, but.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah, I could get it. I've never driven to Guadalajara from Puerto Vallarta, so I don't know what we're going to find out. Yeah. Oh, and with me is my co-host, Matt, the other guy you're listening to, Matt Goodacre, the guy who reminds me not to burn everything down. Do you do that? Do you remind me not to burn things down?
Not really. No.
Speaking of burning things down, it's the day out. I mean, you have to talk about it, right? It's like the elephant in the room, the Charlie Kirk thing that happened yesterday. And you talk about burning things down. I mean, I've learned a lot over my years of making really shitty choices. I should write a biography about that. Just this is what it's like to make shitty choices. Like this is how, you end up in jail, you end up divorced, you end up whatever. So the times when I've made my shittiest choices, and I think I've shared this before, is when I lack context and when I let emotion get the better of me. So those two things, when they happen, I make shitty choices. I say stupid things. I regret what I did, what I said, whatever. It just definitely leads to something not good. So the Charlie Kirk thing happens yesterday. And being that I know that about myself, I didn't say anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm processing. Like my emotions are high. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm like, whatever. But then, you look on social media, you talk about burning things down. You see people that can't seem, they've got the emotional intelligence, I think, of a toddler. Because before you go out there and start spewing shit, before you whatever, think about what you're going to say. So I saw a whole bunch of things, and I'm a guy that, like, I just want to love people, man. There's stupid people everywhere. It's not just like there's stupid people on the left and stupid people on the right. There's stupid people on the left, on the right, in the middle, on the side, upside down. There's stupid people everywhere. So I was like kind of just watching people and how they're reacting. I'm like, man, God, I wouldn't have said that if I were you. And then I saw like a whole bunch of people, and I don't know if this is true, but lost their jobs for shit that they said,
That's crazy.
Afterwards. And so I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, what can I learn from this? What I can learn from this is I don't fear shit like that. Probably a lot like Charlie Kirk himself. In my belief system, when I die, I go to see Jesus. That's a big win for me. I would trade places in a heartbeat with Charlie. Because I'm with Jesus. I have no more pain, no more anger, no more fear, no more evil, no more shit. Yeah, sign me up. And that's what I am signed up for. But, I got to run this course first, and I got to let things finish. But so being like that, I'm learning, I'm trying to think, like, what the fuck can I do to be better, to just be a better person? I need to be reminded sometimes to listen to other people, even the stupid people, in my opinion, stupid people, because their perspective, everybody's perspective, is valid in a sense, because their perspective is their reality. So for me to attack your reality, I mean, how are you going to react to that? There's not going to be a dialogue. We have to respect that shit. So anyway,
I think we need to take a look back, do a self-assessment on what's happening. I think a lot back in the day, parents, or my family anyway, they always said, don't talk about religion or politics. And now we seem to yeah, let's talk about it. Let's try to understand each other. And it just seems to be an emotionally charged topic that maybe it made sense not to talk about it. I don't know.
I think you should be able to talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. And if somebody takes offense, I mean, weren't you raised too with like sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me? Like
For sure,
what happened to that? When people call me names, it's not like I need to go and do anything about it. It's like, I don't give a shit.
No, I agree. I think there's just a different balance potentially. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just something I was thinking about.
Well,
anyway.
and you got to ring it up. I mean, sometimes shit happens, right? Just because you killed the guy doesn't mean his story ends, right? If anything, it's going to be amplified. I know a lot. I've been hearing a lot of people that maybe had kind of heard of who Charlie Kirk was, but they didn't really know who Charlie Kirk was. They know who Charlie Kirk is now.
I didn't know who he was.
No, really?
No.
Yeah, he was, really influential. And I liked watching his videos because the guy was smart, man. I mean, he could put him on any debate team. That dude's going to win. I've never seen anybody be able to debate like he could. And that really frustrated people because I think you come into the mic, you know, he always did these, you know, prove me wrong kind of things and open mic. And so somebody would walk up to the mic and instantly, like, there's the whole thing just unravels and there's like, I don't know what to say. Yeah. Anyway, it's crazy. So burning things down, if you want to burn things down, act out of emotion. If you want to burn things down, don't take in anything into context. Just go with what the hell you fucking feel and you'll burn shit down. That's what I think happened with a lot of the Black Lives Matter and the Antifa shit and all that stuff. I mean, why would you, when you think about it logically, because you have emotion, you have logic. And when emotion takes over logic, you do stupid shit. When logic comes back, you're like, why the hell did I do stupid shit? And you look at like a lot of the reactions, like, why would it make sense for me to burn my own fucking neighborhood to the ground? You know, logically, that makes zero sense. Emotionally, I get it. You're frustrated as hell. You're angry.
It's a quick dopamine release.
Yeah, but man, you talk about those short term. So that's the main topic for this episode, right? Is this, we're addicted to short term thinking. I think a lot of times we don't think about the consequences of what I'm doing right now, right? There's this ripple effect. There's this cause and effect. The choices I make today are going to affect what happens tomorrow and next week and next month and next year, right? And I think a lot of times people don't think about that shit. You just do something. Maybe you didn't think about it. Maybe you were acting out of emotion. Maybe you were, you know, it was poor context. Maybe you're just an idiot. I don't know. But you make these choices. And let's say, you know, I'll just use an example. Let's say you knock some chick up. Go to the bar, have a great night, you know, one night stand, and you get her pregnant. Right? Short-term thinking. I mean, you weren't thinking, well, what happens if she gets pregnant? And then I got to become a father and blah, blah, blah. So what do you try to do? Well, you know, because this is another thing that we do. Instead of treating the cause of things, we treat the symptoms of things. So I made a mistake. Get an abortion. Is that really going to fix it? You know what I mean? It's like
you're going to go out and do it again.
Well, you're going to go out and do it again. And plus there's got to be some, I've never had an abortion, obviously, because I'm a man. I can't get an abortion, but I've talked to women who have had abortions, and it's not just as simple as just going in and 15 minutes later you come out and you're good. Everything's fine. There's an emotional piece to that.
For sure.
That you got to struggle with. So it's like, even if you took that route, it's not over, right? There's still some long-term consequences to it. And let's say, you know, she decides that she doesn't want to get an abortion. Well, now you're a daddy. Now you got to figure out, well, I could play the short-term game or I could play the long-term game. The long-term, probably responsible thing would be to actually be a damn daddy. The other thing is, you know, I don't know, continue to do the short-term thinking. What happens when you just keep doing the short-term thinking is you just keep making the problems worse and worse and worse, and they just keep exacerbating. Now, applying that same thing applies in life and information security. We see it happen all the time. Little fix, little fix, little fix, little fix. All you're treating is little symptoms. You're usually treating those symptoms out of context, right? Sometimes it is emotion. You're buying the blinky light thing because it looks cool. It's going to make you feel good, whatever. But the consequences, you know, that come along with that, you probably made your security program worse if you did it. Even if you made the shitty choices and whatever. So anyway, said my thing about Charlie Kirk. You got anything to add to that, man? I would feel that because this isn't a thing like, I also feel bad about those, you know, two people, you know, Hortman, I think her name was, up in Minnesota, who got killed. You know, the Minnesota senator, congresswoman, whatever. I feel bad about anybody who loses their damn life, right? I mean, we do all these comparisons like, well, and this is the divisive bullshit, and this is the emotional bullshit. Like, well, when, you know, George Floyd died, they did this and now Charlie Kirk died and they're doing this. And like, there's some kind of fucking comparison. Like one life is better than another life. A life is a life, for crying out fucking loud.
No, it's just trying to continue to keep the pot boiling.
Right.
Yeah.
We've kind of lost this sanctity of life thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I seem like a guy that would probably get off on killing some people, you know, but I've never actually thought about it. You know, I might seem like tough with the beard and Harleys and tattoos and scars and all that shit, but there's really nobody I want to kill. I don't think. I wouldn't say it publicly. All right.
Yeah.
So this is episode 47, and tonight we're going to talk about this thing. We're going to talk about this addiction we have that's worse than ransomware. This addiction is worse than phishing. This addiction is even worse than compliance theater. It's our obsession with short-term thinking. Instant gratification.
Do you think short-term thinking comes from people being addicts? Like a chicken before the egg thing? Like a lot of people probably, I mean, you see in the industry, it's constant parties, essentially, for lack of a better word. There's
Right.
probably a lot of people that have issues that just don't acknowledge it, or they're not there yet, or whatever. That could be, I don't know, something I was thinking about when you had this title out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, there's probably something to that, man. I'm really grateful for the way I was raised. You know, I'm really grateful that I had a father who taught me a lot of shit. You know, he taught me about poor choices have consequences, and he wasn't going to save me from my consequences. You know, he didn't bail me out of jail. He also taught me that hard work, you know, pays off. That anything that's shortcuts, you know, like I never really fell for or felt an urge to go after any of the get rich quick schemes or nothing. You know, the Marine Corps way was, if you're going to do it right. And so, you know, I've always been appreciative of that. But I have had my own problems with, you know, the instant gratification. I think that led to a lot of the alcohol, you know, abuse back in the day. You know, I wanted an escape and I wanted it now. And, you know, I also, you know, I think I have a tendency maybe to, in my personal life, go out and buy something impulsy, do a lot of impulse shit, you know, and I think there's a dopamine hit probably associated with that. It's probably a
don't have
something.
to go out. I do that shit on Amazon now. It's
know.
weird. Like I'm sitting around bored and I'm like, I should just buy something. I'll buy like fucking socks or something stupid. It's like, it's so dumb.
Well, when I bought my truck, there was actually another truck that I wanted, but it was going to be like 2 months to get it shipped here. And I was like, I ain't waiting 2 months.
No.
I want my truck now. So I went and bought another truck. So I think we all have this instant gratification kind of urge. You know, we want something and we want it now. But I think anything that's long lasting, anything that's worthwhile takes time. You see a lot of new people come into this industry who they want the raises now. They want the money now. They want the prestige now. They want the promotions now. No, it takes time. You need to build experience. You can't rush experience. That it just comes with time. You know what I mean? I've been in this industry, like I said, for 35 years. I started out, you know, cleaning boot sector viruses off of Windows 3 machines. You know, I wasn't getting paid shit. I mean, it was good money back then. But especially in this industry, like with tech, there's so much temptation for fast money, you know, in technology. I mean, right now it's the AI thing, right? With AI, you can build your own business overnight. You can build your own app. You know, really? Do you think that? I mean, out of 100 people that go down that get rich quick route, maybe one, maybe two will actually make it. The others will probably end up bankrupt. And then the ones who really get rich are the people that are kind of on top running that scheme,
Scam. Yeah.
selling you the bullshit. So everywhere you look, man, I mean, it's true. Everywhere you look, boardrooms, budgets, security teams, it's the same story. And it's always been the same story. Quarterly earnings over long-term resilience. Shiny tools over boring fundamentals. Patching just enough to survive the week instead of building security that lasts. That's one of, so going back to this series, and this is the wrap up for this series, accountability in cybersecurity is broken. We went through all these other root causes. This is the last one to close out the series. One of the root causes to why accountability is broken in this industry is because of our addiction to these short-term thinking, the short-term results, this instant gratification, because it's all ad hoc. There's no strategy. You look at, if I were to build a security program from the beginning, like let's say I was able to, walk into an organization, wipe the slate clean, and start building a security program without any of the bullshit, right? I'm not going to have to inherit anything. I can start over. The very first thing I would start with would be governance. Who does what? Who's responsible for what? The accountability, right? So that I know where I need to go to get things done. Because if I don't have somebody's neck to wring, then how am I going to know if everything got done, and what am I going to do if it didn't? Right? So it would be with governance, which would be that accountability piece. But you look at most organizations in their information security programs, governance is laughable, if it exists at all.
I would agree.
So that's a result of this short-term thinking. It's this ad hoc, reactive, do this, do that, patchwork of bullshit, when really you need to go back to the fundamentals of what the fuck are we doing here?
It kind of ties in with like using or thinking that tech is going to solve the problem.
Tech will never solve your human problems.
No.
Tech, if anything, tech will never solve your human problems. Tech will just exacerbate and make your human problems worse. Look at social media.
Mm-hmm.
Social media was, supposed to be this thing. We were sold the fact that, well, it's going to enable us to stay connected, keep up to date, share family pictures, keep your family together online in different parts of the world and country and everything. What's it become? It's a shit show.
Stalking, bullying.
Right. And it just gives the people that normally wouldn't have any voice, that I'm talking like the crazy fuckers, that normally wouldn't have any voice. It just amplifies their voice.
Well, so like
crazy. And none of these people would ever say this shit to your face.
That's what it was supposed to do, though. It was supposed to allow you to find your community.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Because
some of the things you see people, put on social media, they would never say to your face.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
And growing up, when I was growing up, like that's the only way you could tell people shit was to their face. So anyway, so we're going to hit what the fuck news. I've got 5 news things. We're going to hit CISO humor, and of course, to dive deep. That's
what you know about rolling down in the deep.
What you know about rolling down in the deep. Yeah.
I have a techno version of that song we're going to check out. I think you'll like it.
You and I are going to be diving here in
a week.
10 days, probably 8, 9 days.
Yep.
We'll do some serious dives. Actually, we'll create some. We'll do some pretty nice dive videos, and we'll share those on the show. That'll be fun. We'll do some adventures. We need to get out of our fucking chairs and go out and do some more adventures, and we'll share some shit that we do.
Yeah.
Like, what do these crazy people do? Like, they say they're crazy, but are they really crazy? Because every time I see them, they're just sitting in front of a screen talking to a damn microphone.
Walk into town at 10 o'clock at night.
We could do
on the side of a cliff.
We could do that. And if I get my Harley, we could jump it. Let's go jump some shit. It's been a long time, man. For anybody who's never ridden a motorcycle before, it's crazy because people that have never ridden a motorcycle before, they don't get it. get the obsession of riding bikes. But if you've ridden a motorcycle before, like, and he had, had a semi okay experience, there's a sense of freedom you get from riding motorcycles you can't get it any other way.
That happens to me with 4-wheel objects,
Like
ATVs, UTVs.
Have you seen my new side by side yet?
Yeah, you sent me a picture. I'm pumped.
But you haven't been on it in it.
No. Nope.
Oh, all right. We should go crash that
man.
too.
Let's do it. Take it up the mountain.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to dive deep into why we keep sabotaging ourselves with quick wins and how crew grew up on a ranch, dirt bikes. Oh yeah, dirt bikes. I was just up in Montana. With Oscar, and Oscar, I'm in his garage and he's got a really nice garage. I'm like, man, this is nice, cool shit. And he's got this little bike. I don't know. It's probably like 125 cc little dirt bike. Like, why are we riding that? He's like, well, it's got a gas leak or something in the gas line. I'm like, let's go find a straw or something. We'll just put it back together again. Let's go. So we did ride that a little bit. That was pretty cool. There's a Harley dealership out there too, and I tried to get them to rent me a Harley, but I only had Mexican. I only have a Mexican motorcycle endorsement now.
Thought you didn't have enough frequent rider points.
We need frequent rider points?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. All right. So that's it. This ain't therapy. InfoSec to insanity, man. Let's go. We did a lot of chit-chatting. Let's get into the meat.
All right. Yeah. Short-term thinking is like duct tape on a sinking ship. It makes you feel better for a minute, but you're still going down.
That is true.
Yeah,
that's some wisdom right there. All right, let's dig into what the fuck happened this week. First thing I got is
I want to add one. I just found this because we were piggybacking off accountability. So I just saw...
That's the whole core of what we're talking about. It's the common thread.
So Qantas, their CEO is going to have to pay the price for the cyber attack. Now get this. Their CEO, Vanessa Hudson, is getting $250,000 deducted from her bonus. But she's still going to take home $6 million. So...
All right. So okay. I wonder where they came up with $250,000. How that
15%.
15%. How much did the breach cost Qantas?
They probably can't quantify it, I would imagine.
Well, there's got to be some hard costs, and there's probably some soft dollars, but it's almost like this. We're going to give you the impression that we're holding her accountable, but not really.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Like, it's a great step, but like, gotta hit harder, I think.
So $6 million, and you're going to take $250,000. So if you put that into context, what's $6 million, $250,000? Sorry, 420. You're talking about what? Maybe 4% of her total take home. 4% ish. Is that right? Matt, do you have a calculator? Take
I think it's at 15% of her total take home.
15%? Let me get a calculator because I don't believe anything I read anymore, man. I can't believe it. It's all bullshit.
I mean, if you just think about it though, it's like 1/6. So
I was right, dude. It was 4.1%. Look at my head. There's so much mathy shit in here, dude. I'm so good at mathing.
I just know it's a low number. So if it's like $100, like if I made $100, I'd only be losing.
Well, that's where I'm going with this. 20. So let's say, what do you think? Like the average listener, how much do you think they're making a year right now?
I don't even want to guess and just say.
Should we say 120,000?
Probably not.
I'm gonna say 120,000.
We probably offend people. I don't know.
Well, whatever. Be offended then. So, okay. So if you made $120,000, just to put this into context. So the Qantas person, the CEO, she's being held accountable, sort of, not really, by having to give up 4% of her total compensation package. If I made $120,000 a year, that would be the equivalent of $5,000 that you just deducted from my pay. So I probably, if I was making $120,000 and you were going to take $5,000 from my pay, I'm guessing, I mean, it doesn't really make me feel like I'm really being punished. I mean, I must not have done something that bad. I mean, I did something bad, but
It's
if you
not-
took 50,000, then I'd be like, fuck, I must have really fucked up,
It's negligible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Interesting.
I thought that was interesting.
Let's hope that she gets by and that she can still pay her electrical bill.
I have another one. We talked about M&S.
You're not into staying with the script today, are you?
Nope.
All right, fuck the
We
script.
talked about M&S a couple times about their incident. I guess their head of digital and tech is stepping down.
So,
yeah, it's not a CEO thing, but it's like just another thing.
Stepping down for what reason? Just doing it?
Yeah.
So it has nothing to
I'm
do
guessing
with the
they were.
breach?
I'm guessing they were forced.
Is that what it says?
It says amid cyber incident.
Amid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully they'll find another job and not fuck up again.
All right. The last thing.
You got another one? Seriously, dude, we're never going to get to the fucking script if you keep this shit up.
Are you tracking this NPM thing?
Why do we even put together a script if you're going to do this shit? Talk about accountability. What the fuck are we doing here, Matt?
NPM, are you tracking this or what?
MPM?
NPM, that's supply chain?
Yes. Yeah. The package.
Yeah. Yes. Did you hear about like what actually happened?
No, please enlighten me, Matt.
So it ended up just being a crypto stealer, and they only got $1,000. I'm curious if you have any thoughts about that, due to your knowledge of threat actors, criminal activity, and like the wide scale of this, and kind of the not wide scale of the impact. You think it was just someone trying to theorize or proof of concept something?
No,
because there could have been a lot more damage.
Well, this isn't the first time. Most software. So when I started writing code, and Jask Software was probably the first company I worked for that was really focused on software development, right? And because we made Paint Shop Pro, and almost all the code that we wrote. There was no third-party libraries that we were importing into our shit, right? It was, which was good because we had an intimate understanding. Like that, I've said this so many times. Like the best security advice I could ever give anybody is situational awareness. And the way this applies to software development is an intimate understanding of your software, how it works, what it does, what's it supposed to do, what's it not supposed to do. But that gets out of hand really quickly because we've made software so fucking complicated, right? We try to make software with like every feature under the sun, as opposed to like just make it focused on what it's supposed to do. So anyway, that's what it used to be. And that's much easier to secure. But today, all the software is using third-party libraries. A lot of them are open source libraries. And so that's why there's been this big push for SBOM, right? Software bill of materials, because it's crazy how organizations who develop software don't know what's in their fucking software. They don't know. They don't have their own software bill of materials. They don't know what third-party libraries they're pulling. Their code base has gotten so complicated that there's so many calls to all this other shit that it's a real pain in the ass for them to go out and build a software bill of materials.
And even if you're trying to minimize it by importing like a function from a library, those developers are just importing the whole fucking thing
Right.
because it's shorter.
Well, and it fits right into this short-term thinking thing, right? You have because you sort of can't necessarily blame the developers, right? There's such a big push for getting shit out to market as quickly as possible. If we're not selling it, we're not making money. So everything's just sunk costs. So you got to get this thing out. When it's like, well, we've got some more testing to do. We've got some regression stuff. We've got whatever. We've got security vulnerabilities and business. In this twisted way of thinking, I don't care. Ship it anyway. We'll patch it later.
Yeah,
right?
It's in the backlog.
Right. And it's the same thing with like this software bill of material. So getting back to the NPM stuff and all that stuff. So there's a lot of problems. Number one is this wouldn't affect me if I knew what I was actually using in my software, because I would be able to account for it. Right. So in our own software development shop, our lead developer immediately, once this was, came out, went through it and, explained to us in management that, we're not affected, and gave us how we're not affected. You know what I mean? Which is great. I mean, that's the way you want it. But I think a lot of people don't even know that they were affected because they don't even know what the fuck they're using in their software. So that's one problem. And then another problem you have with using third-party libraries and stuff is maintainers change hands over time. So I might have been the original maintainer of this source code, but I went and retired, or I went and started working on another project. So I handed it off to somebody else to maintain it. And we've seen multiple times when the person you handed it off to is an attacker. So they can, what a great way to
do whatever.
Great way to just bury some functions and whatever. Yeah. People pull it into their code, and then you've got a whole, as opposed to having just one library that's vulnerable, it's everybody using the library. So it's a great, when we talk about economies of scale for attackers, that's like awesome.
The holy grail.
It is. And knowing that most software development shops don't even know it. It's like that's like nobody watching,
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting any echo back right now while I'm talking?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. For some reason I'm getting an echo back, but I don't know why. Could be in my own head. All right, so let's get to the other what the fuck happens. Are you okay with that, Matt? Are we good now?
Yes, I approve.
Peace. All right. Number one, Microsoft Patch Tuesday, 80 flaws fixed. I mean, it's just another Patch Tuesday. Thank you, Microsoft. Critical bugs in SMB and Azure. So what happened? Microsoft's September Patch Tuesday dropped a monster pack of 80 fixes, including critical flaws in SMB and Azure that could lead to remote code execution. The what the fuck angle on this one, 80 patches in 1 month. That's not patch management. That's digital whack-a-mole. It's seriously, man. It's like, and there's like no accountability at all for Microsoft to fucking make better code.
You got an article about it? It's coming up. I read the thing.
I do. Yeah, it's frustrating as hell. All right, why
Patch
it matters?
Tuesday.
What? No, yeah.
Nothing.
Why it matters? Attackers don't need 80 0 days, and these weren't 0 days. Some of them, I think there were 2 or 3 0 days in there. They just need the one you didn't patch. So every time there's these, oh man, it's a pain in the ass. It is whack-a-mole.
Patch Tuesday, more like good luck Wednesday when half your org hasn't rebooted. Oh yeah, good luck having your employees reboot their computers. I ask even the senior leaders, when did you reboot it last? 2 weeks ago. It's like your car. If you left it running all the time, it wouldn't work.
Mhm.
Restart your computer.
But sometimes, I'm sometimes guilty of that. I mean, I've got at any given time, I've got, 10, 11 Word documents, 5, 6 spreadsheets. I don't know how many browser tabs. The good thing about Macs is it does a pretty good job of reopening the shit that you had when you rebooted. I don't know about Microsoft anymore because I gave up on Microsoft as a, workstation operating system like 7 years ago. I should tell you about that story sometime. Talk about
Pushed you
acting
over the edge.
Talk about acting out of emotion. I took my Surface and smashed it against the wall. I was so mad at that fucking thing. I was just tired of it. So then my wife comes, into my office. This was back in, Minnesota. She comes running into my office. What happened? I'm like, fucking Microsoft. And I'm getting my jacket on, getting ready to leave. And she's like, where are you going? I'm like, going to Best Buy to get a fucking Mac. And, no operating system is perfect, but it was one of the best moves I ever made from a productivity standpoint. Plus now, when I say that I hate Microsoft, I don't feel like I'm as much of a hypocrite. There's some shit I have to use, right? How do I have to use Word. I have to use Excel.
Who's sidetracking now?
I don't know. Whatever, dude. It's my fucking show. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Take off my shirt and show you my muscles.
No.
Don't make me show you my ripples, dude. Hey, speaking of that, I'm down to 211.
Hell yeah, dude.
I was 242 when I started
sound
this.
effect thing that you were working on.
Yeah, I know. I got to get back to that.
I was looking at that. I think you need to give me like perms or something.
You need permissions?
Probably. Anyways.
Is that what you were saying when you said perms, or do you want like a hair thing? The perm?
No, permissions.
Permissions. Yeah. It does sound cooler when you say perms.
Sound very elite.
Give me some privs, perms. All right.
I need some muffa.
All right. Number 2, Jaguar Land Rover cyber attack disrupts global operations. This one, I found this one interesting because, you kind of, I'm not like ripping on rich people or nothing, but you'd think that if you can piss somebody off who's got enough power, that maybe they'll do something. Like, so, Land Rover is like, powerful people drive that kind of shit. You know what I mean? I drive a Ford truck. So what the fuck happened? Jaguar Land Rover admitted a cyber attack disrupted operations worldwide, even causing supply chain slowdowns and a data breach affecting employees. The what the fuck angle? Nothing says luxury car, like ransomware driving your company off a cliff. Why it matters when a brand built on reliability, right? This is another thing. Like, do you think this is actually going to do anything to their trustworthiness, their credibility as an organization?
Buy the dip.
Shouldn't it? All right. So the real crash isn't on the road. It's in IT.
Jaguar Land Rover, now with 0 to breach in under 3 seconds.
That's good, isn't it? This is me smiling right now. You see this one tooth right here?
Yes, sir.
You know why that one's smaller than the other ones?
It's a crown.
No, I took a baseball bat to the face.
Ooh, ouch.
I got mugged when I was 20. That's
my same tooth. Mine's a crown.
Yeah, this one is they pushed it back. It knocked 2 teeth into the back of my throat, and I had to push them back. And then root canal, and I think I was supposed to get a crown, but I didn't. I don't like dentists, so I didn't go back. Yeah, there's a whole story behind that. I'll share that someday. It was back when I used to hustle at pool tables and make a bunch of money. Yeah. All right. Number 3, U.S. Senator calls out Microsoft for cybersecurity negligence. Now, this guy is starting to become almost a semi hero for me. So you might have heard me talk about him a couple of weeks ago, and I talked about the legal stuff. Actually, last week, I think we talked about him too. So what happened? Senator Wyden, so U.S. Senator calls up Microsoft for cybersecurity negligence. Senator Ron Wyden, he's from Oregon. If you're a Republican, hey, newsflash, this guy's a Democrat. If you're a Democrat, hey, newsflash, this guy's a Democrat. If you give a shit about that stuff, what I really like is this guy has made a lot of sense on some of the cybersecurity and information security stuff he's been doing. And this one makes me happy, assuming anything will change. So Senator Ron Wyden accused Microsoft of gross, quote unquote, gross cybersecurity negligence in protecting critical infrastructure, calling for an FTC investigation. We've investigated Microsoft a lot of times, and somehow they continue to weasel their way out of shit. They're very good at this. But I like the fact that we have, we talked about
it not being political.
And we talked about, this
a voting issue.
Yeah. Right. So the fact that this guy's talking about it makes me happy. So what the fuck angle? When even Congress, famous for not knowing what Wi-Fi is, thinks you're negligent, you've really screwed up. Why it matters: if regulators finally start holding tech giants accountable, the entire cloud ecosystem could feel the heat. This would, wishful thinking, prayers, whatever.
It changed the game.
Oh man, if you could hold tech accountable for shit, yes, the game would be different.
I think if you want to go this road, you probably need to start with telcos.
All of them. Make some simple fucking rules that everybody needs to play by.
Right.
No outs. You know what I mean?
Microsoft now serving subpoenas as a service.
Nice. I like it. Subpoenas. That's a weird word. But lawyers, they're always coming up with weird words. Number 4, Cloudflare blocks record-breaking DDoS attacks. This one was interesting. Cloudflare announced it mitigated some of the largest DDoS attacks ever recorded, with traffic measured in hundreds of millions of requests per second. The WTF angle: the internet is basically a stress test, and Cloudflare is the duct tape keeping it from exploding. If you like them or don't like them, I don't know. I've got pros and cons around Cloudflare, but they have stopped a number of pretty disruptive things that could have happened over the years. These attacks are growing faster than defenses, for sure. And if Cloudflare sneezes, half the internet catches a cold.
Yeah. Cloudflare, the only thing between you and your website turning into a 404 tattoo, bro.
We should get 404 tattoos.
I already have a Kerberos. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, so that's Cloudflare. We ripped on them a few weeks ago, but here we go. We're giving them a little bit of kudos. Number 5, SalesSoft /drift breach hits cybersecurity firms and their customers. So these are security people. When security people get screwed, that's interesting. They can, we're always preaching like incident response. You need to have this, you need to have that. It's like, all right, what do you got?
Where are you at?
Where you at, dog? So what happened? A breach at SalesSoft and Drift exposed data tied to multiple cybersecurity companies and their clients, showing once again that third-party risk is everyone's problem. And I'm happy to announce that FR Secure Security Studio is not in this list. We don't use SalesLoft. Actually, it's SalesLoft and Drift. But even if we did, we do take third-party information security risk management very seriously. We do have a fantastic incident response team. I'm not calling that out for somebody to come in, well, let's go see if we can hack FR Secure, because you can't. You can hack anybody, right? So I'm not asking for problems. I'm just saying that if the problems come, I think we're going to be okay. The WTF angle: even when even security vendors get breached through their SaaS tools, how the hell is anyone supposed to survive? These are the experts. But the thing about experts, we preach a lot, but a lot of us are hypocrites too. We say, you got to have asset management, you got to have governance, you got to do this. It's risk management. When's your last risk assessment? It's not compliance. But most, I would say, security consulting companies, cybersecurity firms preach it, but they don't do it. They're full of shit. So, and this is what I would ask. If you use a cybersecurity firm, if you use a consulting company, a product company, put them through the ringer. Ask them difficult questions. Show me your last information security risk assessment. Show me, your policies. When's the last time you had an incident? Tell me how you handled it. What are your capabilities? I mean, ask for them to give.
Here's my SOC 2.
Yeah. Well, and a SOC 2 wouldn't be bad, but read it then. The thing about SOC 2s, knowing how SOC 2s work, number one, if I get a SOC 2, I get to define the scope. So just because I have a SOC 2, maybe the SOC 2 only applies to this one financial accounting system, and it doesn't apply to my whole organization, right? So I can have a SOC 2, but I can define scope on the SOC 2. So if you give me a SOC 2 and I'm like, oh, okay, you're good, just check the box, you might be missing something because the scope of that SOC 2 might be shit and it may not even apply to me. That's number one about a SOC 2. Number two about a SOC 2 is you have these criteria that you need to meet, and you need to convince essentially a CPA to give you an unqualified opinion that you're meeting these things. The thing is you get to define how you're meeting those things and make that case to the CPA so that they're going to audit. So there's a whole bunch of gray area in all of that, but that'll be in the
Works
report.
really well over dinner.
Yeah, no doubt. And that'll be in the report, though. So you need to read the report. There's nothing wrong with the SOC 2, but if you're just going to take it at face value and move on. Other things, so supply chain attacks don't just hit. You inherit the sins of your vendors.
Sales loft and drift. Providing the outsourcing security risk is just outsourcing your breach.
There you go. All right, so this week's headlines scream the same thing: short-term patching, short-term thinking, and no long-term fix. From Microsoft's endless vulnerabilities to supply chain chaos, the industry keeps duct taping the cracks while pretending it's building a fortress. Let's move on to segment 2, CISO humor. Welcome to tonight's comedy clinic. You go to clinics when you're sick, so maybe you don't have... Maybe you've got a comedy sickness, and maybe we're here to solve...
Maybe we are sick because the industry...
No, not us, dude. We got the clinic.
Oh.
We're inviting people. We're inviting patients
inviting
in.
them to our clinic. We're trying to fix the industry because the industry's sick.
But this is about... not, yeah, sort of, but this is humor. So maybe you're going through your day, and you're like, you have no sense of humor. You take yourself too damn seriously. You take everybody too damn seriously. You're like the cybersecurity guy that just... nobody wants to hang out with because you're boring. You're not fun. So those kinds of people, come to our clinic, come to our comedy clinic. We're going to treat that. And that's what segment 2 is all about. This is where the punchline is always, we didn't patch in time. The episode's theme, short-term thinking. That's the theme for tonight. Because nothing says cybersecurity strategy like duct tape, coffee, and blind optimism.
So check this out. You might be a CISO if your 5-year security roadmap is actually 5 copies of your next quarter's budget request.
Just 5 copies of it. It's the same damn thing over and over and over again.
I just keep trying to get it, man.
Someday they got to say yes. All right, you might be a CISO if the last time leadership asked about risk management, they meant risk to this quarter's earnings.
I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
You might be a CISO if your breach response plan is pray it happens after I quit.
Yeah. I don't want to be... It's hard to blame me when I'm not there.
I see it coming.
Actually, those are the best people to blame. If you're one of those people that likes to point fingers and doesn't like to own shit, which is not the kind of CISO I would ever want to be, but it's great when like shit hits the fan. You're like, well, that's left over from, when Jackass was here. I had to inherit that crap. I mean, I would have never put that stuff in like that. So you might be a CISO if you spent more on coffee for the incident response team than the patch management budget.
Ouch. You might be a CISO if your cloud security plan is literally don't click weird links. If it looks weird, man, just don't click it.
Right. It's crazy how, I still talk to security people and they're like, just don't click links. I'm like, that's really stupid advice,
Dumb.
man, because everything's a fucking link. Like, you're telling people not to click links, but it's
what
almost
everybody else is doing. It makes sense, Evan.
yeah, it's almost as dumb though to like, don't click weird links. Like, what the fuck's a weird link? That's pretty subjective. Yeah. So you might be CISO if your cloud security plan is literally that. All right. So our skittish skit, it's a short one this time. It's boardroom time travel. In this particular skit, Matt, so put yourself into this situation. I'm going to put you in the power position. You're going to be the CEO, chief executive officer, the man at the top, the guy that everybody's got to respect. The one that, when you come walking into the room, I shudder a little bit. I'm like, oh, fuck, man, is this the day? Is this the day I get fired?
Boost.
So, Matt, you're the clueless CEO, and I'm the burned out CISO in this particular skit. It's a short one. So, Matt, kick us off.
Security, get that security guy in here. So, Evan, how's our 5-year security strategy looking?
Mr. Matt, yes. What can I do for you, sir?
How's our 5-year strategy looking?
It's basically the same as last quarter, kind of ignored.
Well, we'll get to that after this quarter's bonus checks,
All right. That's cool. I'll add that to the incident response plan. I think it'll look like this. Basically, step 1, pay the executives. Step 2, pay the hackers. Wait until quarter 2.
Yeah. Nice.
That's what we'll do. So, all right. And then we're bringing this one back, the CISO affirmation of the week. We dropped this for a couple of weeks, but
that was Riker's idea. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Riker's pretty good, dude. All right. So, Matt, repeat after me. I am not my quarterly budget.
I'm not my quarterly budget.
I am not the next shiny tool demo.
I am not the next shiny tool demo.
I am a resilient professional trapped in an industry addicted to short-term wins.
I'm a resilient professional trapped in an industry addicted to short-term wins.
My worth is not measured in patches applied before Friday.
My worth is not measured in patches applied before Friday.
I will think long term, even if leadership can't see past next Thursday or Tuesday.
I will think long term, even if leadership can't see past Tuesday.
How do you feel, Matt?
I feel revitalized.
Yeah, that's the point. I'm trying to help you feel affirmed.
I'm affirmed.
Because being that I'm not in your CISO security leader, I mean, I am different places, but not like you are, man. Now I can be that therapist to you. I feel like I can be that affirming voice.
You're my affirmator.
I'm your, Evan, the cyber affirmator.
Yeah, that's a cool, catchy line.
That is a cool, catchy line. All right, here's the real talk break. CISOs are stuck in a system that worships short-term wins, while long-term resilience is treated like optional homework. Short-term thinking isn't just funny, it's why breaches keep happening. When leadership says we'll deal with that next quarter, just nod, smile, and quietly update your resume. It's funny, in a lot of incident responses, I used to do this occasionally. I stopped doing it because people got offended. I think as time went on, people got more offended by things that I said. Maybe I just said them more often. I don't know what happened, but in an incident response, it was like, all right, step 1, update your resume. I mean, make sure your resume is updated. Start, reaching out to recruiters, whatever. Sort of same thing happens when you're dealing with shitty leadership. I think when you're dealing with shitty leadership, number 1, look in the mirror. Right? Am I the problem? There's 3 things you need if you want to get leadership on your side. You need trust, credibility, and likability. Do they trust you? Do they see you as credible? Are you an asshole? if you can get those three things and nail those three things and build those three things with leadership, chances are a lot better that they're going to listen to you and you're going to get this kind of collaborative relationship with them. But even when you've like busted your ass on building those three things and leadership still doesn't get it, at some point you have to stop looking in the mirror and you have to realize that you just have shitty leadership. And there does come a time when that happens. And rather than staying in that position where you keep beating yourself up and it starts to erode your quality of life, get the fuck out of there. Don't let yourself be used like that, especially if you know that you're good at what you do. So anyway, that's just a CISO survival tip from, something I've learned over the years.
From the affirmator.
The affirmator. Yeah, you're not a fucking victim. Start there though, because you also have to own it, right? So look in the mirror. Where am I at? Am I trustworthy? Am I credible? And am I not an asshole? If those three things, if you've got those things covered and you can't think of any other way to make those things better, well then maybe it's leadership. You just have shitty leadership. Give us our key quote, Matt.
Short-term thinking in cybersecurity is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. It makes the executives feel better while you're just bleeding out.
Yeah, that's true. All right, laughs aside. I don't know if any of that was funny. I think the affirmation thing maybe was all right. Because as funny as it is, the short-term addiction is killing our industry. It's serious as something that's really serious, right? It is. So we're going to break it down. No bullshit. In tonight's main segment, we can't stop chasing the quick fix. That's the addiction. And how to finally kick the habit. We have to kick the habit if we want to solve this accountability problem. And if you want to solve the security problems, if you want to get risk management, get appropriate budget, get appropriate buy-in, you have to solve the accountability problem. All right. So this addicted to short-term thinking. Did you get a chance to read the blog post, Matt?
I glanced over it. I didn't read it in depth.
I'm
kind of a turd.
No, I'm going to give you permission to lie to me right now.
I'm pulling it up right now. I'm trying to keep track of the Packer game, but I think we're going to win. So
Packers.
Yeah, that's right.
Packers.
I do have a rant though.
What's your rant?
Well, so I was talking with another industry professional earlier this week. And I was basically
with quotes or like just
no, he's got a job doing the things.
He does the things.
And I was talking about this exact thing, and I'm like, yeah, your company buys all the tools. He's like, yeah, we have all of them. I'm like, why? Well, because they let me buy them. Well, why? Oh, because the board is asking for them. So, like, I wonder.
They let me buy them. Hold on. Stop at that right for a second. Then let's get to the other thing. Because they let me buy them.
Mm-hmm.
That's justification for buying shit? Because somebody lets you buy them?
It doesn't seem... I mean, he said he has to make these business plans or business cases or whatever, but I don't know what they are. But, yeah, they buy, like, everything.
You're wasting money.
That's what I feel.
And you're overcomplicating your environment. And you're giving people a false sense of security because you don't know how half this shit fucking works.
But they're getting the reports from the tools that they want to see.
Big fucking deal. Give me Excel spreadsheets and I'll just make some cool ass report that's bullshit too.
Yeah, I just found that interesting because I'm on the opposite end. If I wanted something, they'll just say no. Like I can't get anything, which is a good.
But that's that part of ownership. It's almost like this, like in that kind of relationship, it's almost like this entitlement shit. Like your job, if you're in information security leadership, you have two jobs. That's it. You consult the business to make good information security risk decisions, and you implement those risk decisions. So you need to consult them to make good information security risk decisions. And if their risk decisions lead to a budget, That's a justified budget, which is a lot different than why buy shit because they allow me to.
You have to advise up, and that's what I was trying to like communicate to him. Like, just because they're telling you to get something doesn't mean you have to say it's a good idea.
You should invite
Oh,
this
but there's a
person.
board.
There's a board. Invite
I'm
this
like, yes.
person.
So what?
Can we invite this person onto the podcast? Are they convicted enough in believing their way is the right way that they're willing to challenge?
Potentially.
That would be fun as fuck. I'd love to talk with them.
Because
maybe I'll learn something. Maybe he knows something I don't know, and I'm like, wow, I didn't think about that. That's brilliant. I don't think
Depends
so.
if your company's printing money or not, I guess.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So the addiction, man. The whole point here is, we love short-term fixes. I mean, look around, and this isn't just apply to our jobs as cybersecurity or information security professionals. This applies everywhere. This applies in life, right? Apple just announced last week, a new iPhone. You have a new iPhone 17.
$2,000.
Right. You have a new iPhone 17. You have new AirPods. You have the new Apple Watches. And people buy these things. Why? Do they need them? Do you need the new features? Do you even know what the fucking new features are? Or do you just buy them because it's the latest and greatest?
The new features are software. It's not even the fucking hardware.
Well, I don't know, man. The new iPhone 17's got the A19 chip in it.
Oh my god, whatever. They're still making it the same price. It's not whatever.
I don't know. 48 megapixel camera.
Just throw out a whole bunch of shit that people don't even know what it means.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, when you talk about responsible use, and this is the mentality, right? Short term, I would just go buy it because I want the fix. I want it now. I want to whatever, right? You think about all these short term rewards for this thing that you just invested in. Whereas the long term thinking, which is responsible thinking, and I've said it before, we continue to adopt new technology much faster than our ability or our desire to use it responsibly. A responsible approach, just to contrast the two things, an irresponsible one would just be to buy the shit because it is what it is. Or you might even know, like, it's got the A19 chip in it and you've got 48 megapixel camera in it. And you might be like, well, yeah, I need that. And it's like, bullshit. Are you a professional photographer? Do you need 48 megapixels? Do you know what 48 megapixels is? And I think it's got an 8x
zoomer.
Yeah, but it's now they used to have zoom and it was mechanical zoom. Now it's mechanical emulation sort of zoom. So it's that kind of zoom. Do you need that? I don't know. Maybe you do.
I want to spy on my neighbors.
Right. But that's kind of it's not, and there's nothing wrong with buying the new iPhone. What's wrong with buying the new iPhone is not knowing why you're buying the new iPhone. Objectively.
Mm-hmm.
Right. How will this improve my life? Or is it, well, it just makes me feel good. And that's fine too. But what you're missing out on is the risks that come along with that. And today, mostly we're not held responsible for those shitty choices. But like I said earlier in an earlier episode, it's only a matter of time before that's going to come. Right? Should I spend the $1,200 on the new iPhone 17 Pro Max, or should I feed my kids this week? I don't know. It's up to you. But I'll give you an example. Like my wife, she's got the, she's not addicted to technology. She's got the iPhone 13. And she's like, should I upgrade to the iPhone 17? I'm like, yeah, you should. And she's like, why? And I gave her a list of reasons. And that's why I know the 48 megapixel camera and the A19 and did the research on it. Because I'm like, I'm not getting
be old.
Right. But I'm not getting, a new one. This is a 16 and it's fine. It'll work for a while, but it's this irresponsible, just like instant gratification, short-term fixes, not thinking about the consequences long-term to some of the decisions that I'm making today. And I am actually looking forward to the new
Watch.
Apple. Yeah, because that's got a 42-hour. The biggest thing I wanted in the last one. So this would be the version 3 of the
Ultra.
the Ultra. From version 1 to version 2, it wasn't like shit. Nothing exciting, really.
It was a different color, black to
Right.
silver.
Right.
Yeah.
But the one thing I really wanted was a longer battery life. I mean, that's like the biggest thing I want. I don't need more features. I don't use half the features on my watch anyway. But so the new one, 42 hours.
Mine lasts 3 days. What are you talking about? Mine's
That's
a 2.
That's because you don't do shit.
I exercise more than you.
Fuck, you don't. Whatever. You don't even know me. You don't even know who I am right now. And I preach. So I preach. I want, and I don't want to be a hypocrite, right? I don't want to go out there and rip on all the people that have short-term thinking, not admit my own. I do have short-term thinking. One of the curses that comes with ADHD is a propensity for short-term thinking. A lot of impulsive shit that we do. So I fall for it, for sure. But I think when you fall for it and have like this situational awareness, knowing that I'm falling for it, so I'm still like not just going head first into it. I'm still like in my back of my mind, I still know that there's this risk here. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I think the other part of it is it's okay too, as long as like you can. Back to like what you're talking about, do I buy the phone or pay for groceries, right? I think once you start going down this road, it becomes an addiction, and then you're not able to make a smart choice.
Right. Well,
Then you're compromising, and then you're off track.
Right. And this is, it's in personal life, and this is the same way. I think we face a lot in business stuff. We love short-term fixes, patching symptoms. It's very frustrating that we don't treat root causes to problems. If you want long-term solutions that will stick and stay a solution, you treat the root cause. If you want to keep this cycle of insanity, just keep treating symptoms and ignore the root cause. The symptoms are short-term. I mean, that's the short-term thinking. Just keep whacking the mole. Oh, another symptom, smack it. Oh, I got it. We're good. Oh shit, there's another one, smack it. Right? That's the chaos. That's the firefighting. That's the short-term thinking. Whereas the long-term strategic thinking, where you get the value from your information security dollars, and yes, there is value in information security dollars, is in strategic thinking. It's an integration, information security risk management integrated with overall risk management, which is integrated in the success of the business. That type of approach has a return. And you're treating root causes. So our short-term stuff, it's patching symptoms, buying shiny tools, spinning up committees that do shit. They're not even, committees are great, but you have to have them do something. You start a committee with a charter, which is roles and responsibilities, so that people that come to this committee know what's expected. But it takes time. The long-term fundamentals: asset inventory, risk management, security culture. Those things take time to build. They're long-term strategic approaches, but they're fundamental approaches. They get ignored. It's like how many people start one of these projects, like an asset inventory or a risk management thing, and as soon as they start hitting some bumps in the road, they throw their hands up and stop it. They quit. Yeah, it doesn't work. It's bullshit.
Every single person I've ever talked to.
That's a symptom, and that's a symptom of short-term thinking. Right? Your long-term strategic thing, you expect the bumps in the road. I expect people to challenge me on why the fuck are we doing this? And I need to have an answer for that. Like, why do we keep doing this asset inventory thing? Why do we keep doing this risk management thing? Why do we keep doing, all this annual, quarterly training and awareness stuff? And you need to have an answer, a good answer. That comes from strategic thinking. That doesn't come from short-term ad hoc bullshit. And there's no other way, when I'm going back to this trust, credibility, and likability, there are few better ways to destroy your trust and your credibility than through short-term thinking. Because it's ad hoc, it changes. There's no consistency. If you want to build trust, you have to have this consistent track record of producing results. Anyway, cybersecurity is definitely not unique. This addiction, like I said, runs through business. It runs through politics. It runs through personal lives. I mean, you look at political shit. Let's take that one as another example. It's election cycle to election cycle to election cycle. And that's, I'm going to contrast this with like Salt Typhoon, right? Salt Typhoon, China, United States. I don't like China, the government. I like all people, basically, but China, United States. China, long-term thinking. They have a 100-year strategy that they're executing on. What's our strategy for information security as a nation? Do we have a 100-year strategy? No, it's like this whack-a-mole bullshit. There's no strategy. So politically, business, and this permeates through the American culture, I think, more than probably any other culture.
It's because of the whole profit capitalism thing, because the money's there.
Right.
That's what I think.
And there's nothing wrong. I'm a capitalist. I believe in capitalism, but responsible capitalism. Right? Responsible. Like, you don't, making dollars by taking advantage of other people should be punished. Yet in our industry, it's rewarded. Like, taking advantage of people. Yeah. It's great. So anyway, the business model of now public companies chase quarterly earnings. They have to produce quarterly earnings. You almost sort of can't blame sometimes CEOs and board of directors, because if they don't produce their quarterly results that Wall Street has predicted, that they've predicted, that's where the accountability comes. So it's like this misplaced, and they should be held accountable for that, because you have investors who want their return on their investment. They've got, 401ks tied up in that, mutual funds, their financial future is tied up in all this. So, but it's like this myopic focus on just that. We have to also sprinkle in, at some point, kind of graft into this responsible governance, cybersecurity. And one way you could do this, right, is like, let's say that X, Y, and Z are negligent, right? So take 3 practices, whether it be asset management, risk management, whatever things. If an organization doesn't do these 3 things, they're going to be found negligent, and they're going to be fined. Here's the numbers that they're going to be fined, and make it as black and white as possible, because then here's my quarterly number that I'm trying to hit. Well, that's going to all get derailed if this thing happens. You know what I mean? So it kind of it forces you to put.
Including it in the prediction.
Right, because it's going to throw off your whole damn quarter, and the stock price is going to tumble, and somebody's head's going to roll. I mean, that's just an idea off the top of my head, but you have to build something for us to start thinking the longer term. I don't know. CISOs, they're rewarded for surviving the year, not building 5-year resilience. I think, what's the average? Last time I looked, the average lifespan
3 years
for a CISO, 3 years. So it's hard to build a 5-year strategy if you're not even going to be there for 3.
We just had a meeting on Tuesday where tech systems, they said it's starting to go from 3 years to 1.5 years.
It's a red flag, man.
People are done with the Bullshit.
As they should, man. I mean, and then maybe that'll be one of the things that forces some of the consequences is that we've got nobody to stand guard on the wall anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get somebody to come, or if you are going to get somebody to come, you're going to have to pay them $500-600 an hour. You couldn't pay me enough anymore. I mean, and not just that, but my team is better than me, so you could get a lot better results that way. Yeah, I don't think there's a number that you could put in front of me that'd be like, yeah, you know what? I think I'll get back into the consulting again. I mean, I do consulting like ad hoc, talk with you, talk with other CISOs, just on the fly, but we're friends. You don't charge people for that shit. Every major breach, man, rerun, ignored basics. I can't remember the last breach that I saw.
It's a sophisticated threat actor, Evan.
Yeah, I know. Nation state, right? Couldn't have mitigated it. It's impossible to mitigate it. I can't remember the last breach that I saw that was like, what is it? Like impressive. Like, holy shit. Wow. You fucking did that? Damn. That's crazy. It's the same things. It's basics. It's fundamentals. It's single factor authentication, some shit. It's not patching, some shit. It's the same things, man. I can't remember the last one. I was like, fuck, that's crazy. The things that are crazy is like the way they propagate. I think it's become
SolarWinds was pretty cool.
Much more interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that was one. And the NPM, going back to that one, that one's pretty cool.
Yeah. Exclude the downstream impact and the initial piece.
Yeah.
They're pretty
cool. If I were
NPM was an account takeover without MFA.
Right. Right, but the propagation through that. If I was a naughty person today, that's where I would go. I would go after open source. Open source are just, common libraries and just
go after the pandas library.
Yeah.
All the data geeks are using that.
Dude, that'd be huge. All right. Yeah. So it's screwing us. I think we've made the case. Do you have anything to add on why this short-term thinking is fucking us up, man? I used to have a board.
No, it's just, I think we covered it pretty well.
Yeah. I had one of the things that forced me to create the S2 score, which was actually before that, it was the FISA score. The FISA score was, it was being adopted quickly. And then FICO, the big FICO company,
shut it down.
Yeah. They gave us a cease and desist. And I'm like, for what? You don't, anyway, I wanted to fight it. I wanted to crowdsource the legal fees too. Cause I figured it won't be hard to find people that want to go after FICO, but my team wasn't as risk. They were more risk averse, I think, than me. So we didn't do that. So we changed FISA score to S2 score. But that original score came from, I used to have one of my peers, my last real job before I started FR Secure was, I was the CISO for, I mentioned that, MJ Pharma. And one of my peers, the CFO, would always ask me, Evan, are we secure today? And I'd be like, finally I got frustrated with him. And I was like, do you even know what you're asking? He's like, well, yeah, are we secure? I'm like, and so I explained to him, information security is relative, right? There's no such thing as in your mind, if you think being secure is risk elimination, we cannot be hacked, not possible. It's also not possible on the other side of the scale, right? Infinite possibility. So it's somewhere in between this thing. So when you ask me, are we secure today? What I have to figure out is a way to communicate this to you, to tell you how secure. That's the right question. The question isn't, are we secure? The right question is, how secure are we? right? Because it's relative. It's like if I can, and I need to come up with some way to communicate that. The way I first started communicating that was with words. So I would use words like moderate and guarded, and people are like, I don't know what that means. So then I went to grading, like A, B, C, D, F, like we get when we were in school. And then I had a board member say, well, C's get degrees. I was like, fuck, that didn't work. And that's what led to eventually coming up with a metric between 300 and 850 to communicate that shit. And so this, on the accountability gap, asking me that question, are we secure? That's a problem. I mean, it's not like, and you don't blame them for it. It's an education opportunity, right? It's not, are we secure? It's how secure are we? And to push them from this short-term thinking about today, this quarter, we need to drive the bus. We need to tell them, this is where we're at today. This is where we need to go. So if you use a score, if I say right now our score on a scale of 300 to 850, and most people understand what that metric, that range, they can, let's say today it's a 550. Our 3-year plan is to get to a 720. That's responsible, right? And you explain, whatever. There's a lot of details that go into that, but that gets you from this short-term thinking to this longer-term thinking. Today, so getting them into a cycle of this is where we're at, this is where we're going, this is when we're going to get there, and this is how much it's going to cost. Those are the 4 things you need to drive home with executive management. If you want to drive from short-term quarter to quarter thinking where you're about ready to pull your fucking hair out and you're burnt out, if you want to get from that to a roadmap, a strategic plan, that's how you do it. Simple. Right? Get your magic wand, your pixie dust, and you're done. All right. So fixes that could break the cycle. I'll just go through these. Shift metrics. Measure resilience over years, not quarters. Years. This is a long-term plan. And what happens is, once you get to a number, once you get to a place where risk is acceptable, you just maintain it. Building is always more expensive, more disruptive than maintaining. Once you're in this maintenance mode, holy shit, man, enjoy it. You always have these tweaks to make. You always have little changes of direction, but getting from this short-term thinking, firefighting, high-stress environment to this long-term build and maintain, that's where the love is. Number 2, reward prevention, incentives, insurance, tax credits for companies that do the boring foundational work. Reward them for it. It's neglected. There's no other way to do information security. Keep trying. Keep buying the blinky lighty things and fuck your firewall and not have asset inventories, not do risk management. Keep trying. It's never going to work. Never. 35 years of doing this, never seen it work. Logic, if you have logic, if you're thinking with your brain and you have discernment, you'll know it's never going to work. So sleep well at night knowing that you're that short-term thinker that just keeps buying the blinky lighty things like your friend. Sleep well, man. I sleep great because I know I'm doing shit right. Number 3, educate leaders. Boards need to understand security is a long game. It's not quarterly line item. We can report on it quarterly for sure. But the plan needs to be 3 to 5 years. This is where we're at. This is where we're going. This is when we're going to get there. And this is how much it's going to cost. And then you report on that quarterly. So you can still fit into their quarterly short-term thinking, but we have to have a long-term strategic plan. Make sense? You feel me on this, Matt?
I do. A lot of times they don't let you talk to them. I've seen.
Have a good night, Riker.
Specific. Yeah, this is where a lot of people are like complaining, oh, we need to be able to sit at the table and all that stuff. Being able to talk quarterly. Maybe it's because you're buying too much shit.
Start with looking in the mirror. Trust, credibility, and likability. Do they trust you? Do they think you're credible? Are you a pretty cool person? You'll get invited to the party. If you lack those three things, yeah. I mean, a lot of times CISOs really have nobody else to blame but themselves for why they're not getting a seat at the table. And it's not going to happen overnight. It takes a long time to build trust. It takes a long time to build credibility. I mean, look at yourself, man. I mean, you shared some news with me this last week, which is a fantastic opportunity to go talk to leadership about some really cool things and provide and demonstrate the value that you're going to provide to the company. But that didn't happen overnight. It wasn't like you joined the company and like, hey, come talk to the board. That's the long-term strategy, right? It took time to get there, man. Number 4, empower CISOs, tie compensation and survival to long-term outcomes, not just fire drills. If you're constantly in this fire drill world, you have a shitty CISO. I'm sorry.
Or CIO. I mean, IT is always constantly firefighting too.
Yep. Shitty leadership. That's all that is. Culture change. Number 5, culture change. Normalize saying no to short-term optics that kill long-term health. People are afraid. We've said over and over and over again in information security, stop being the no person. Stop being the no person. Yes, mostly, but there are times to just say no. No. Doesn't make any damn sense. You know what I mean? Obviously, we want to say yes to things that we know, that we think, that we've been sold are going to provide value to the company. But if there are things that it's just obvious it's not going to provide value to the company, say no. The CFO does it. Everybody listens to the damn CFO. All right. Actionable challenge for listeners this week. Ask your leadership this week, what is our 5-year security plan?
You probably start with 3 years.
What's our security plan at all? Yeah. But if the answer now you probably don't want to ask them this because you might open a can of worms for yourself if you've never enabled this, right? But if you've created one and maybe even communicated one and you just know it fell on deaf ears. But if the answer is a blank stare or next quarter's budget, you know that this is a problem and something to work on. And I wouldn't go right at the blame game. I mean, start with the mirror. All right, man, give us our key quote and then we're going to run into our broken industry fix list and wrap this son bitch up. What you got?
Cybersecurity keeps failing because we're addicted to short-term fixes. We don't have a hacker problem. We have a leadership problem.
Bingo. Leadership.
I was talking to people at the event this week. Same thing. I feel like, we're talking about hiring people and like there's this talent gap. I said, I think we have a leadership problem. Like no one wants to teach. I'm busy. I'm going to conferences. I'm going to lunches. You got to spend the time with your people, man.
Well, and why are you going to conferences? Why are you going to lunches if it's not going to provide value to your business? My job and every single person in the company, if it's a company, every single person is there to provide value to the company's mission and objectives. If you're not, I mean, that's where you got to step up and take ownership for your damn self. And I know that we don't want to, you might need this job, but you're already on thin ice anyway. It's just a matter of time before somebody's going to figure out that you're not providing any value to the business. And then you're in the next round of layoffs. So rather than get surprised by it, why not wake up? But going to conferences, there are times when that will provide value to your business, right? You'll go and learn new things. It's an education opportunity. It's a networking opportunity for sure. But I think there are a lot of people that go to these conferences and go to these things without that mentality. A
lot of young people.
And put it on the company, the company checkbook, man. Ain't cool. I mean, I don't want, it's part of the culture too. So it's not like a simple fix, but whatever. All right. So the broken industry fix list, we're going to give you 5. I don't know how many, 6 maybe. The no BS fix list in our opinion for this. So fix number 1, redefine success. Stop measuring cybersecurity by quarterly no breaches reports and your other stupid metrics. Stop measuring maturity. Start measuring maturity over time. Are we better off today than we were last year? This is going to require a metric. It's going to require an objective metric. Your opinion can always be challenged. Facts, they kind of stand for themselves, right? So you need to figure out how you're going to measure cybersecurity. And there's lots of tools out there. I mean, Security Studio, my own business has one, but that's not the only one. And you could always create your own one. The point is to measure success over time and look and demonstrate the progress that you've made. The name of this game is risk management. So that whatever metric you're going to choose should represent risk in some way or another. All right, give me fix number 2, Matt.
Kill the shiny tool syndrome. Don't buy another silver bullet until you nailed the fundamentals. Asset inventory, MFA, backups, patching. Tools should support your strategy, not replace it. I say this all the time. You should not let vendors be driving your program. No vendor should be telling you what to buy.
Amen, brother. They don't live it.
No.
They don't have the perspective.
They don't even know how it works. I have to when I get on calls with them, I have to tell them how to make it better. To your point, they're just trying to get it out the door. It doesn't even. It's not. It's like a minimal viable product. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right, fix number 3, align incentives with long-term health. CISOs shouldn't be rewarded for surviving the quarter. Tie compensation, key performance indicators, and board accountability to 3 to 5 year resilience. Much easier said than done, but it's going to take something. Chloe says that you hate us vendors. Do you hate the vendors? Do you hate the vendors, Matt?
No.
Be honest.
They're good people.
Be honest, Matt.
The products just suck.
Okay.
People are good.
Hate the products. Love the vendors.
The people.
Love the people. Fuck the products.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. We just had to clarify that.
I'm a basher.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet. It's going to be your nickname. What was my nickname? I'm the... Shit, what was I?
You're the affirminator.
Affirminator. And then you're
affirmator.
The affirmator. I'm the affirmator. You're the basher.
The basher. We're like the Bash Brothers from the Mighty Ducks.
Dude, this is going to be awesome. All right. That's number 4.
Educate boards and executives. Look, teach leaders that security is like fitness. You don't get abs from one workout, bruh. Force conversations about sustainable investments, not optics.
That always works in the right environment. It always works in boards and leaders is when you use analogies like that. And especially if you have enough trust and credibility with the leaders to insert some humor in it, that's what makes it stick and they don't forget it. It's pretty cool. By the way,
Chloe sells risk software.
Nice. Keep selling it.
Yeah.
Sell it to the right people and use it right. Fix number 5, normalize saying no. CISOs and practitioners, and this goes against so much of what you hear in the industry. Don't be the no person. There's a time and a place to say no, right? It's like being the responsible parent. When it comes to information security, not the business, but when it comes to what I'm supposed to be the expert at, I'm the adult in the room. Right? And sometimes the adult in the room, it's like when you raise their kids, I want more ice cream. Oh, no. Eat some fucking vegetables. And then, do something, to deserve it. So it's like, because I think we've taken that too far. I think, a lot of information, almost to the point where like, you're not really a leader. You're just a yes man. You're just like, okay, yeah, we'll figure out how to, and then you bitch and complain about it to your peers or the next networking group. Well, maybe you should have said no to some things. right? So it's not just cut and dry like that. So normalize saying no. CISOs and practitioners must push back on short-term decisions that sabotage the future. Our job is to consult the business to make good information security risk decisions. That's job number one as an information security leader. If they're making poor information security risk decisions, you need to say something. You may not be able to override it. You may not have the authority to do shit like that, but at least you can go on the record as saying, I said no. It doesn't make sense. It's not good for our business. It doesn't provide value to our business. The risk far outweighs the benefits, in my opinion. Right? So no, we can't skip MFA for convenience. Is that, and you wonder about some of the CISOs and information security leaders in this industry. Are they willing to die on any of these hills?
No.
Sometimes you have to have that conviction.
The answer I always get is, it's not worth dying on this hill.
What hills were dying on?
Every fucking hill.
Well, but back to the CISO who says that, then what hill is worth dying on?
This is where, like, we were talking about, it needs to be election, which is kind of like politics, right? But they don't want to die on a hill because it will mess up their political capital in the company.
So,
yeah,
I mean, that's what
I think.
But if you were going about this
the right way, it wouldn't mess up. You're doing it for the right reason. It won't matter.
If I'm trustworthy, I'm viewed as being credible, and I'm viewed as being a good, not an asshole. So my likability score is all right. I mean, say what you need to say, right? I mean, people will listen if you lack those things, and that's where you start I'm not willing to die on that hill. Probably because you don't even have a fucking hill to die on.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hill there. I mean, you just, the business, and they said we can't do multi-factor. Okay. I mean, they do get to make the ultimate decision, but did you say something? Did you make the case? Did you, you know what I mean? Because, you're just asking for it. And if my job is to consult the business to make good information security risk decisions, and they continually make shitty risk decisions, somebody's got to say something. So no, we can't cut training to save budget this quarter. If you have the ability and the authority to say that, then say it. But that's the thing. You got to build that trust, credibility, and likability, which is a long-term play. And if you have that shit, then you have hills that you are willing to, you just have hills that you're willing to die on. And you'll find out that you don't actually end up dying on any of these hills because people do what you say. That's like leadership. I don't know. Number 6, man, give us the last fix on this thing.
Build culture, not just controls. Security isn't a quarterly project. It's a culture shift.
Boom.
If your people don't understand why, no number of tools are going to save you.
The why. That is my favorite book in the world. Start with Why. Simon Sinek.
Yep, I have it over here.
If you want to, social engineering 101, right? If you want to get people to do what you want them to do, you could do it a number of ways. But one, it would be to take advantage of their emotions, right? So get them fired up about something, fear, whatever, because they'll think with emotion. They won't think with logic. But assuming you want to do the healthier way and you want to socially engineer somebody with logic, which is the good social engineer thing, right? I want to convince you, motivate you to do something that's best for you. If you want to do that, you have to start with the why. They have to see themselves in the equation. They have to see how they're going to benefit from it or how they're going to hurt from it. But because at the end of the day, I mean, if you decide that you just want to keep running around, with a loaded gun in your hand, go ahead. I can't stop you from doing that, but it's your decision, I guess. So actionable challenge for listeners, pick one short-term habit in your organization this week. Think of one thing in your organization this week, one short-term habit, and call it out. Whether it's a rushed patch, a shiny tool purchase, or leadership punting on training, name it, own it, and push for a long-term alternative. Play it. All right, man. Key quote.
Fixing cybersecurity is not about more tools. It's about breaking the cycle between short-term thinking, stop duct taping, and start building for tomorrow.
I love duct tape. If you've ever used duct tape before, Matt, you're a hacker.
I use it for Band-Aids all the time.
You're a hacker.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we are. Let's close it out. Short-term thinking is killing us. Let's just close it with that. It's why we patch instead of prevent. Why we chase shiny tools instead of strategy, and why we keep bleeding year after year. Accountability isn't just broken; it's missing entirely because nobody wants to look past Friday. If we're going to fix this industry, we have to break this addiction. We have to stop mortgaging tomorrow for today's convenience. There's no alternative. That means calling out leadership, rejecting quick fixes, and investing in the boring fundamentals that actually work. You don't have to be highly skilled. You don't have to be a highly skilled technologist to be super effective in this industry. If you can count, can you count? That's it. That's how you do an asset inventory. I got this thing. Well, count how many of these things you got. Then go to the next thing and count how many of those things you got. That's one of the biggest fundamentals, man. It doesn't take a hell of a technologist to do that. All right. This is the end of our So this is the end of the series, man. This is the end of this cybersecurity, accountability and cybersecurity is broken series. Should I cross my eyes again? All right. We've torn into politicians. We've torn into everything, man. We've torn into ourselves. We've torn into politicians, lawyers, vendors, us. The truth is there's plenty of blame to go around, but there are also real solutions. Not quick ones, not easy ones, but the only ones. You have to fix accountability if you want to fix this industry. So real solutions if we're willing to do the hard work. What's next for the InfoSec to Insanity podcast? Well, we're not done ripping into the industry. We're definitely not done fixing the broken industry. We can find some more things to talk about. That's for sure. But we're cooking up, what's coming in the next series. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around. So stay tuned to that.
Don't forget.
Matt, don't forget.
You know the drill. Just don't forget.
Don't forget.
Like, subscribe, share. Yeah, man.
Click
us on
buttons.
X, Insta,
click those weird
LinkedIn,
links.
InfoSec to Insanity. I have been sharing this with a lot of people that I've been meeting, and we are up to 299 subscribers. We need one more, people. If we hit 300, we might just go crazy.
If we hit 300, I'll do the next episode without pants.
Oh, yes.
Actually, I might be doing without pants right now. You don't even know.
I mean, maybe. It's possible.
I look so much different. I got to get headphones.
You're going to look interesting without your beard.
I know.
I think it's going to be cool.
I think I'm going to look.
Don't forget, you can email us too. Have you checked the email inbox? show@infosec2insanity.com.
Actually, you know what we should do next episode? Maybe we'll talk about Project Broken Mirror.
Oh yeah, show the demo. Actually, I thought
not
about
even a demo. I just tell people what it is.
I thought about you when I messaged you on Tuesday about that other website with the job thing.
Oh, dude, Chloe just said recheck the count.
Oh, she subscribed. It still says 299.
Well, it's because you have to refresh the damn page. Come on.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you got cookies and shit. Clear your cookies.
Oh, it does say 300 now.
Why do you talk to me like I don't know security shit, dog?
She's going to give me all kinds of crap for that.
She should give you all kinds of crap for that. She should stick something up your nose. Smack you across the face with something. That's what I would do. I'd smack you right now.
Bad idea.
Bad idea to smack you? All right. All right. Well, that's it, man. We'll move on to the next episode. I love doing this with you, man, because it's good for my mental health. You notice that I did a lot of ranting and raving. It
gets it off the chest, man.
It does, man, because these are frustrations you deal with every day. You see the same shit. You're like, seriously, when are we actually going to take this seriously? And when are we going to fix this shit? I don't know, but we'll keep trying.
Yep.
All right, that's a wrap. Did your Packers win?
They did.
Damn it. Fuck the Packers.
Yep. I think we're gonna have a number one defense, dude. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, whatever. All right, that's it. Let's move on.